Hello everyone, welcome back to another session. And in this session, we'll be solving another SQL problem called acceptance rate by date. And it has been asked in Facebook, and it is a medium problem. So let's see what it is asking. So we have to find out what is the overall friend acceptance rate by date. And the output should have the rate of acceptances by the date of request was sent. And we have to order the results by earliest date to latest. So we have to assume that each friend request starts by a user sending, that is user ID sender, a friend request to another user, user ID receiver, and that is logged in the table with action equal to sent. If the request is accepted, the table logs another record with action equal to accepted. And if the request is not accepted, then no record of action equal to accepted is logged. Okay. Now let's take a look at the input table. So this is user ID sender, receiver, the date, and the action. Let's preview it. So this is the user ID of the sender, the user ID of the receiver. So this sender sent this user a friend request on this date. And if you look at this record, this friend request was accepted on 6th of January. So now let's do one thing. Let's order the results by date. So now if you look at the data, on 4th, 4 requests were sent, and we have to tell what is the acceptance rate for the requests which were sent on 4th. So 4 requests were sent. How many were accepted? So if we look at it, so let's order by user ID, sender, user ID receiver. So the request which was sent on 4th was accepted on 6th. This request was sent on 4th and this was accepted on 15th. So this request was sent on 4th and this was accepted on 10th. And this request was sent on 4th, but this was never accepted. So 4 requests were sent on 4th and 3 were accepted. So what is the acceptance rate? Number of acceptance 3 divided by number of sent requests 4. So it should be 75%. So let's take a look at the expected output. So for 4th we have 0.75, and similarly we'll do it for 6th. So what we will do is, first of all, we'll create 2 columns along with this user ID sender and user ID receiver. So we'll create 2 columns, the friend request sent date and the friend request accepted date. So if the request is accepted, we'll have the date here. And if it is not accepted, we will have blank. So let's create 2 columns using the case when statement. So let's create user ID sender, ID receiver, and we will apply case statement, case when action equal to sent, then date, and as sent date. And similarly, we'll create the column for the date at which the request was accepted. Action equal to accepted, then date, and this accepted date. So now let's run this. So there's some error from, okay, comma. Let's run this again. So if you look at here, so this user ID sender sent the request on 4th to this receiver, and this receiver accepted the request on 6th. So now what we'll do is we'll do a group by on user ID and receiver, and we'll pick the max of send date, which will come out to be the max of this blank value, and this will come out to be 4, and max of accepted date and this will come out to be 6. So let's do a max here, or you can create another SQL select statement, but I'll do it here only. So we'll do a max of this and this, and we'll do a group by on user ID sender and user ID receiver. Now let's run it again. So now as you can see, we have got the send date and accepted date in the same row for the sender and receiver. Now what we will do is we will apply the count function. Now we'll not use sender and receiver. We'll just use, because we need date wise percentage acceptance, right? So what we will do is we'll select this column. This is the send date. And for this group, let's suppose if I order it by send date. So as you can see, we have 4 records, 4 friend requests, which were sent on 4th of January, and there were 3 acceptances. So we'll do a select on send date, and then we will do a count on send date column, which will give us 4, and a count on the accepted date, which will give us 3. So let's look at it in action. So let's put it into a temp table, T1 as, and we'll do a select send date, comma count of send date, comma count of accepted date from T1, and we'll do a group by on send date. Now let's run this. So there's one error. So yeah, we can't put order here. Let's run it again. So see, so on 4th, there were 4 requests which were sent and 3 were accepted. Now we'll calculate the percentage acceptance. And how we can do that? We'll do it by 3 divided by 4, and we'll multiply it by 1.0 to get the answer in float. So let's do it here only. So this is the accepted count divided by send date count, and we'll multiply this by 1.0. And now let's run it, and we'll call it as percentage acceptance. So yeah, and I think we should round it as well. Let's round it off as well. Let's see if it accepts. So the solution is accepted, but we can also try to round it off. Let's do a round. To 2 decimal places. Let's call it 3. Now let's run it. So we got the exact output. Now let's check the solution again, and yes, it passed. So hope you guys understood the question and how we solved it. But still, if you have any queries, then please post them in the comment section. Thank you.